Craig Carton just called out the NBA. Is LeBron James really getting special treatment? Eyes. This jersey patch controversy might expose more than just a record. It could change how we see greatness forever.
But when the king narcissist breaks a record, even though he's a stat compiler and is only breaking records because of his longevity in the league, he wants to make sure everybody knows about it. So he picks the patch. The NBA says, yes, sir, you can wear the patch. We work for you, LeBron. And he embarrasses himself. So he's got one patch for turnovers because he's got more turnovers than anybody in the NBA.
The debate about LeBron James has never been just about basketball. It's always been about something bigger: his legacy, his brand, his influence, and what it means to represent an entire sport. But every now and then, something small brings all that debate back again. This time, it's not a big shot, a finals performance, or bad call. It's just a patch on a jersey, and somehow, that small detail has sparked one of the biggest debates in sports all over again.
Your guy, LeBron James, proving once again that he's the biggest narcissist on the planet, and then a complete egomaniac, has decided on his own, and because the NBA apparently works for him, that they've approved this, because they do have to approve it after all, that it's time for him to wear a new patch on his jerseys.
Do you think LeBron James wearing a record-breaking patch is a fair way to celebrate his greatness? Or does it show the NBA treats him differently? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more real NBA debates.
Now, you might remember when John Stockton became the all-time assist leader in NBA history.
Yeah.
At no point did he wear a patch that said all-time leader assists. Never did it. Not once.
Oh, he didn't do that?
Matter of fact, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar set the all-time points record way back in the day, at no point did he wear a patch that said all-time leader points. Matter of fact, in the history of the NBA, for every individual player that at some point had set the record for the most of blank, not a single one of them.
LeBron James, already one of the most accomplished players ever, just hit another huge milestone, becoming the all-time leader in field goals made. That's a historic achievement, something that would be celebrated in any era. But instead of letting the record speak for itself, the league approved a special patch for him to wear on his jersey to mark the moment. And that's where the conversation started to shift.
We also found out that there are plans for other... Go ahead.
Now, but I mean, he is the all-time leader.
I'm sorry, Tyrone asked me. I guess you guys couldn't hear it. How many patches did Michael Jordan ever wear in his career? That's a great question, Tyrone. I appreciate that. We checked. Never. Not a single time.
For some fans and analysts, this feels harmless. It's just recognition, a way for the NBA to celebrate one of its biggest stars, LeBron James, while he's still playing. It gives fans a chance to witness history as it happens. But for others, it goes much deeper and gets more controversial. Critics say this isn't just about honoring a record. They see it as ego, favoritism, and more proof that the league is willing to bend its rules and traditions for one player.
Another patch is coming later this season, and I figured since I don't want to talk about this multiple times, I'll just go through it with you. The next patch that he's going to be presenting. Do you see what that one says right there? Put it up on the screen, guys. What's that one say? It's hard for me to read that from here. Yeah. It looks like it says all-time leader, field goals missed.
Well, this
one
says turnovers.
Yeah.
No, the ones I see is turnovers. That's what I see. I see turnovers.
That's where voices like Craig Carton step in, arguing that this move crosses a line. From that point of view, no player in NBA history, no matter how great, has ever worn a patch celebrating their own record while still playing. Not when legends broke records. Not when icons changed the game. The argument is simple. Greatness never needed extra promotion before. So why does it now? And this is where things start to get heated. Once comparisons enter the conversation, especially involving LeBron James and past legends like Michael Jordan or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it quickly becomes personal. Critics say those players reached incredible milestones without turning them into something worn on a jersey. To them, this isn't just a celebration. It's a shift in how the league markets its star supporters. Though, see it completely differently. They argue the game has evolved. Today's NBA is global, media-driven, and deeply tied to branding. Social media, sponsorships, and storytelling are now part of the sport. In that world, a patch isn't about ego, it's about business. It's a visual reminder that fans are watching history in real time. But that leads to another question. Where does it stop? If one player gets a patch for a record, should every player get one? What happens when multiple players hit milestones in the same season? Do jerseys start to look like billboards of achievements? That's where critics push even harder. They question whether the league is selectively promoting certain stars and whether this opportunity would exist for anyone else, only for someone with LeBron's level of influence and global appeal. Then there's another layer to the debate. Longevity versus dominance point. One of the most common criticisms of LeBron is that many of his records come from playing at an elite level for a very long time, rather than short bursts of peak dominance. Some label him a stat compiler. But that argument isn't perfect either, because lasting that long at the top is incredibly difficult. Staying healthy, evolving your game, and competing across generations requires a different kind of greatness. So what matters more? Peak dominance or sustained excellence? At its core, the patch controversy connects to something even bigger, the never-ending GOAT debate. For many fans, it's not just about stats or rings. It's about perception, personality, and how a player presents themselves. And in this case, critics argue that wearing a patch to celebrate your own achievement only adds to the idea of self-promotion, fueling the debate even further. Some people see it as unnecessary, even too much. But supporters argue that in today's world, where everything is shared instantly, showing achievements visually is just part of the experience. Then there's the business side, which can't be ignored. The NBA is a global entertainment machine, and its biggest stars are its biggest assets. When someone like LeBron James hits a milestone, it's not just a sports moment. It's a marketing opportunity. Jerseys, merchandise, social media, all of it drives revenue. From that angle, the patch isn't just recognition. It's about making the most of the moment. Critics see it as proof that the NBA is choosing profit over tradition. Supporters say it's simply how modern sports work now, where business and entertainment go hand in hand. What really fuels this debate is how divided fans are. Some think the backlash is exaggerated and driven by long-standing bias against LeBron James. Others believe the support is just blind loyalty, ignoring a clear shift in how the league operates. The truth likely sits somewhere in the middle. It also raises a bigger question about the future. Will this patch be remembered as a unique way to celebrate history, or the start of a trend that changes how achievements are recognized? Or will it just fade into the background as a small detail in a long career? At its core, this debate isn't really about a patch. It's about what fans believe sports should represent. Tradition versus evolution, humility versus self-promotion, competition versus entertainment. Everyone brings their own values into it, which is why these conversations never really end. And that's what makes it powerful. Because whether you see it as a celebration or controversy, it has people talking. And in today's sports world, that might matter most. Long after the games end and records are broken, it's the conversations that keep the sport alive. As this debate continues, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just about one moment. It's about how fans define fairness in a league that has evolved over time. When people look at LeBron, they're not just seeing a player, they're seeing a symbol of the modern NBA. And that comes with a level of attention no player before him has faced in quite the same way. It also highlights a generational divide. Fans who grew up watching Michael Jordan often value dominance, championships, and mystique. Newer fans are more used to branding, visibility, and constant access to players' lives and milestones. So when something like a jersey patch appears, it doesn't feel the same to everyone. It reflects a deeper difference in how people define greatness. There's also the reality that today's NBA runs as much on storytelling as it does on competition. Every record and milestone is amplified through media and social platforms. In that sense, the patch isn't just recognition. It's part of the story, a visual moment that keeps fans engaged in an era where attention is everything. Still, critics raise fair questions. If this becomes normal, does every milestone get a patch? Do all players get the same spotlight? Or is this something reserved for icons with global influence like LeBron? Those are questions the league may eventually have to answer. Media voices add even more fuel. When someone like Craig Carton speaks out, it pushes the debate forward, but also divides people more. Some agree, others see bias. That tension is what keeps the conversation alive. And then there's the bigger picture. Legacy. Every move LeBron makes becomes part of how he'll be remembered. For some, this patch will be a small footnote. For others, it'll be another point in the GOAT debate. That's the reality at that level. Every detail matters at the end of the day. This is what makes sports so compelling. There's no single answer, just strong opinions from every side. Now it's your turn. Do you think this is being overblown, or does it reveal something bigger about today's NBA? Drop your opinion in the comments. Share this with someone who disagrees, and subscribe for more real, unfiltered sports debates.